today we will talk to you about MB&F, and though most people know the brand for its very original and distinctive watches, whether in the horological machine collection with some crazy timepieces we've had the privilege to cover over the years, or in the more recent legacy machine collection with its modern interpretation of classical watchmaking. Well, the brand founded by Max Büsser has also been developing table clocks and other types of machines since a few years already, and we'll quickly come back on this before focusing on their latest launch, Balthazar. For MB&F, this all makes sense, as the vision of Max Büsser from the very start was to create kinetic sculptures, and we can for sure recognize that MB&F have done pretty well at that. So before Balthazar, the dual-sided robot, came Melchior and Sherman. But even before that, MB&F started to create parallel objects to their timepieces, and the first one was the Music Machine #1, launched in 2013, a UFO-inspired vessel done in collaboration with Rouge, the historical Swiss music machine manufacturer. In this vein came along Music Machine #2 and #3 in 2014 and 15, also and always inspired by spacecraft and naturally always limited edition series. But again, these were music machines, and in 2014, time came back in the center of the equation, and we saw their first table clock with the introduction of Starfleet, a spectacular object also inspired by space travel. This was the brand's first collaboration with L'Épée, the last company specialized in the manufacturing of high-end clocks in Switzerland. And following the great success and attention this clock triggered, MB&F continued down that route, but this time giving it a robot feel with the introduction of Melchior in 2015. Coming back on that collaboration with L'Épée, MB&F's role focuses on the design, while L'Épée employs its savoir-faire and takes care of manufacturing of these objects. But very shortly we'll publish a report giving you much more insight into this lesser well-known company. Melchior was almost a 30 centimeter standing tall robot made out of 480 components overall, meaning movement parts and the robot itself. It features hours and minute disc on its chest, and the escapement mechanism could be seen under a sapphire dome, sort of acting as the brain of the robot. To fuel up this 40 days power reserve clock, you have to detach the winding key from its left arm. So some of these features have been transposed to the bigger brother Balthazar just introduced, including the jumping hour mechanism, but this time this robot presents a dual face, a smiling one and a more menacing skull-faced one. On the friendly side, you will find the time indication as well as the power reserve indicator, and the eyes display a 20 seconds retrograde system. The winding key is found on the shield, and the power reserve is slightly less than with Melchior at 35 days. But in this new version, the dark side also revealed for the first time a moon indication, and you can rotate it as you wish depending on your mood and which face you want to see. So Balthazar is a big 40 centimeter tall robot that is made out of 618 different parts and weighs 8 kilos. So don't worry, it will just sit nicely in your interior, not much risk of tripping over. There are 4 versions of Balthazar in terms of its shoulder color, from silver to green, red and blue, and they are all limited to 50 pieces each. And just for info, but between Melchior and Balthazar, I mentioned it just before, came another really sweet version with Sherman the robot, presented in early 2016. So I know that Max Büsser hates it when these objects are referred as toys, rather expensive toys, as the production process is really quite cumbersome. But there is for sure a really nice playful dimension to Balthazar, and personally I really wouldn't mind having it standing in my place. So this is it, so thanks for your time, and remember not to miss our report on L'Épée coming soon. All the best, see you soon.